Pasta with Swiss chard, delicious. But let's begin first with the onions and garlic, and that's the base. And I chose linguine. I like the linguine because they'll absorb all of the Swiss chard and the ricotta in between. So let's put the onions in. On the side, on the hot spot, I'll put the garlic, so I'll give it an opportunity to cook as well a little bit, because if I throw it on top of the onions, they might not cook. And I want them to cook a little bit before we begin. A little bit of salt. While that's cooking, this is how fast this recipe is. By the time the linguine cook, the sauce will be done. Let's put some salt in the water, always salted. Let's put the pasta to cook, and it will slowly fall into, and then we'll come back and give it a turn. So Swiss chard comes usually in a bunch like that. You can buy it. And it comes different colors too, it's delicious. And you can just take the top off and leave the stems if you will, but I cut the stems up and I put it all in, and it's good. Cut the stems a little bit smaller. It will, if we can throw this in here. This should be enough for a pound of linguine. Let's cut this very small. A bit of salt. Peperoncino. Okay. Like it nice and spicy. And just a little bit of the pasta water to get it cooking. I mean, you could put stock, you can put all kinds of liquids that you like, but pasta water is just fine.
When we came in America, me and my daughter was always looking to have a little garden, and we have now a little garden in Douglaston. We have a Swiss chard with green leaves, with a little bit greenish and red leaves, and I show to my grandchildren how from the seeds you got the plant, and you got the food, and you got the fruit, everything.
Let's check the sauce. And you know, I do it with Swiss chard, but could you do it with other greens? Absolutely. You can do it with spinach this way. You can do it with broccoli. But you have to keep in mind, you know, how long does that vegetable need to cook? Spinach would take much shorter time, therefore I wouldn't put as much water in it. Broccoli would take a little longer. Okay, the sauce, I think it's just right. And then we'll cook the pasta in here. Let's test the pasta. Oh, that's great. And certainly you can drain your pasta, but, you know, I like just fishing it out and putting it right into the sauce. I can hear the sauce crackle. It needs a little bit of the pasta water. Okay. This looks good. Vegetables and pasta. A little bit of oil. I think it needs a little bit of oil. Okay. And then at this point, we'll put in the ricotta. Okay. Since I'm gonna need a little bit of liquid, let's slosh this all in. And you don't have to mash up all of the ricotta I think if you see little bits and pieces, I kind of like it like that. Okay, I think it's mixed together. At this point, we'll throw some walnuts in. I'll save some of the nuts for the topping, some of the grated cheese. Okay, and this is ready. You can just bring it to the table like that, or you can plate it, or you can put it on a platter, but I am going to taste some. A little bit more cheese. Maybe a few nuts on top. And you know, as Italians, we never use a spoon to roll up our pasta. You see what I did? To roll our pasta, as Italian, kind of choose a few strands like this, and then we go into a corner, and we twist, and we twist, and we twist.
Now that it's all twisted on my fork, we're gonna taste it. Smells delicious. So creamy, so good. The chard, there's the vegetal kind of element, the nuts, a little bit of Sangiovese wine. Perfect marriage. And I'm gonna eat while it's still hot, but I'm gonna invite you. So, tutti a tavola a mangiare, andiamo!